the line, I believe we have our regular caller. It's John from Basingstoke. Are you there, John?
Hello, Mark. Yes, John Ashe here from Basingstoke. John Ashe with an E. Good to be speaking to you again, Mark.
Well, it's good to hear from you today too. Now, John, what's on your mind this afternoon?
Well, I want to speak to you today about television.
Uh-huh.
I mean, each week I try to sort out what my viewing is going to be for the week, and it's normally pretty bad what's on, but this week there is nothing on. There's absolutely nothing on.
Oh, right.
I've just started here. I'm going through here. So Tuesday, the 7th of February, I don't bother with anything before about 8 o'clock in the evening because it's all rubbish before then anyway, all daytime TV and stuff. So, yeah, I'm having a look here. So Tuesday, the 7th of February, 8 o'clock in the evening, and there's nothing on. What have I got here on BBC Two? Great British Menu. What I want to watch a programme about menus. British menus. I mean, like fish and chips and things. I'm very familiar with that already. Then we've got Waterloo Road. Well, that sounds really boring. It could be any old road, couldn't it? Then we've got, what's this on? ITV1. It used to be ITV, didn't it? Now it's ITV1. Anyway, new, the Martin Lewis Money Show Live. Well, I suppose that's interesting if you've got some money. I haven't got much money, so that's for people who've got money. And then Channel 4, it's new. Know Your S, ... Inside Our Guts. Yeah, well, I don't really need to say anything about that, do I?
Yes, but John, surely, and this is me broadcasting from a hospital, isn't it good to know about your insides?
Well, that's true. BBC 4, there's an old one, To the Manor Born. So I think that was okay. But, I mean, it's pretty lame, isn't it? I mean, here, The Traitors, US. Don't know what that is, but I don't want to watch a program about traitors. That's lame as well. It's all lame. As I say, there's nothing on. If I go forward to 9 o'clock, BBC One, Sort Your Life Out. Sort your life out. That's an insult. A History of Britain by Simon.
Simon?
That's what it says. A History of Britain by Simon. Well, it could be anybody.
Have you got a DVD you can watch instead?
No, well, I used to have a VHS collection, but these days people don't use VHS much, do they? And my VHS player doesn't work very well anymore, so I don't really watch those things. I still do have the collection. I say I used to have a collection. Well, it's functionally useless, so I might as well just say I don't have it anymore, although it's up there in the loft. So, yeah, I am dependent upon watching these things, and I'm looking through the guide here, and it's all lame. Nothing on.
Surely there's more than just the telly box, John.
Well, it's because I have to watch something, Mark. I can't just watch nothing, can I? I have to speak to my wife all the time. I don't want to do that.
Right, okay. Anything else you're not going to be watching, John?
Well, yes, okay then. Well, Wednesday the 8th of February... So this is now 9 o'clock. We've got ITV1, again, new Next Level Chef. What on earth is that? Next Level Chef. I think I'd probably have to watch the First Level Chef before I was watching the Next Level Chef. And, of course, I don't know how many levels there were before. It doesn't say Second Level Chef. It says Next, so it could have been 14 before then.
Right.
So I'm not starting after a 13 series or whatever it is already gone by. The Magic of Mushrooms. That sounds pretty dubious on BBC 4. Oh, BBC 4, amazing. Oh dear. Wouldn't think of them, would you? It's cultural on BBC 4. I don't know what the world's coming to, Mark. It's all lame television. I told you there's nothing on. There really is nothing on.
What about buying one of those karaoke machines, John?
Yeah, well, I have thought about doing that, actually. That's something my wife suggested. But it's a bit big and we can't get it into the cupboard.
All right, okay, keep going with things you don't want to watch then, John, just so our listeners can avoid those programmes.
All right, so the next day, Thursday the 9th of February, ITV1, Next Level Chef. Again, I've told you before, I'm not watching Next Level Chef. Channel 4 is 24 hours in police custody. I can't think of anything worse to watch. I mean, 24 hours in police custody. Lame.
Do you have just the one TV, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah,
well, we do still have a motorhome, so we've got one in there. And that's where we have the VHS player. So it doesn't work very well. It's all very grainy.
All right.
So I do occasionally go up into the loft and pull out something from many years ago. And we can just about see it. But, it's like snow. I mean, it's okay if you're watching something like Scott of the Antarctic. But if you're watching anything else, it's very distracting to see snow. Or if it's Lawrence of Arabia, it's useless.
Or Nanook of the North.
You're right, yeah. But isn't that the film with all the hats? I think it is. Isn't that the one with Alec Guinness playing about 100 different characters? Or am I thinking of Alan Titchmarsh?
Do you always think about Alan Titchmarsh?
I do often think of Alan Titchmarsh, actually. I think he's... How can I put this? He's an unrecognised talent, let's put it that way. I think there are all kinds of things that he could do that he's not recognised for. I've got no evidence for that, but I think he could be an A-listed actor in Hollywood. He could be. Again, I've got no evidence for that. A lot of people would say it's not reasonable to believe that, but I don't know. I just have this gut feeling that he could be. I mean, he's got quite a respectable chin, quite a wide jaw, and that's one of the prerequisites, isn't it, for being an A-list male actor in Hollywood. So I think so. I often think of Alan Titchmarsh,
You say, John, there's all sorts of things that Alan Titchmarsh could do, but he's not recognised for. I mean, presumably he couldn't be a particle physicist, for instance.
I don't think he could be a particle physicist. I think you'd have to have training for that.
I think he trained as a tree surgeon, didn't he?
Oh, really? I didn't know he had any medical background.
Yeah, I think his parents were circus performers.
Really? I thought his mother was a nurse.
No, I don't think so.
Right. Well, I was probably confusing him with Sean Connery, because I know his mother was a nurse, and I suppose it's an easy mistake to make. They both have wide, square jaws.
Well, no offence, John, but some of our long-term listeners might not trust you on that, because if you remember last year, you mistook Michael Gove for Michael Caine.
Well, I know, all right, I suppose so. But, you have to say that Michael Gove is not unlike Michael Caine.
How do you mean, John?
Well, they both have two eyes and a nose and a mouth and legs and arms. So, I mean, that's quite a lot of similarity.
All right, moving swiftly on, as they say. Any more thoughts about things you don't want to be watching this week, John?
Right, well, if I go to the end of the week, so Friday the 10th of February, on ITV1, again, it's, so this is about 10:30-ish, Con Air. Is that like air con? Like air conditioning? I don't want to watch a film all about air conditioning. Celebrity Gogglebox is on Channel 4. Now, I've seen one of those. That's lame. That's totally lame. It's a lot of people watching television. Why do I want to watch a lot of people watching television? You might as well have somebody with a camera in my room watching me and my wife watching that program where they're watching somebody else on television. It could go on forever, couldn't it? You could have somebody making a program of that as well. No, so it's a complete waste of time. Lame. And then we've got on Channel 5, we've got Greatest Songs of the 70s. Now, you'd think that's great, wouldn't you? Well, it's greatest songs. So you think that's great for me? Probably some things I used to dance to as a young man in there. And then it says, wait for this, it says, contains violent scenes and adult themes. A retrospective celebrating best-selling singles from across the 70s. 6 iconic songs are fondly remembered, and the stories behind each one are revealed. It doesn't say what they are, but it involves violent scenes and adult themes, and I can tell you, those won't have been any of the songs that I used to dance to as a young man. So again, lame. Not watching that.
Okay.
Before that was Cilla Black, the Queen of ... I can tell you for now, I can tell you for sure now, straight away, Cilla Black was not queen of anywhere. See, it's lies. It's lame and it's lies. And BBC 3, Bad Education at midnight. Well, I'm glad it's that late so that children can't watch that. Would you want to watch a programme about bad education? You should say good education and be a truly educational experience for the younger generation.
Okay, John. Well, look, how about going out for the night?
Well, I've thought about it, but what would you watch? What can you watch? Nothing, I suppose you go to the cinema, but that would cost a lot of money, wouldn't it, every time you go to the cinema, and you have to find something you want to watch. So my wife and I can never never find anything we want to watch. I mean, the last time I found anything I want to watch was Terminator 2.
Oh, that's ages ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, true. 1991, I think, but still.
I think I prefer the original Terminator, actually.
Do you? I think Terminator 2 was better.
Yeah?
Well, the first one didn't have a liquid robot.
True.
Oh, no. See, that was the thing. When that liquid robot comes in at the top of the helicopter and bashes its head against that glass and comes in and sits next to the pilot and says, "Get out." That's one of the most wonderful moments in cinematic history as far as I'm concerned. And that's not on, I can tell you. If that was on, it's never on. If that was on, I'd watch it. But I can tell you, I look through this guide religiously every day. Every day, every week, and then sort out the week's viewing for each day. I can tell you for certain, Terminator 2, never on. It's never on. I tell you, it's lame, Mark. It's a lame experience watching TV these days.
All right, John. Well, look, let's move away from telly for the moment, and let us know what you'd like us to play for you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would, yes. I would like to have Kate Bush, please, Wuthering Heights, because that is certainly something I used to dance to as a young man. Always have a great... sorry, I can't think of the word. A great fondness for Wuthering Heights. Not the book. Haven't read that. No intention of reading that. It's probably lame. But the song is very good. So if I could choose that, please.
And a shout out for anyone?
Yes, please. More this week.
Right, thanks, John. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yep, okay. Yep, great show, Mark.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to speak to you again.
Yep.
Okay.
Speak to you next week.
Great show. Bye. Bye.
Cheers. Bye, John. Bye.